How are you? I hope that you're having an
Hi.
amazing day today. First off, I want to say welcome, Raiders. Caustic Phoenix, thank you.
Welcome.
I definitely wanna shout out Caustic Phoenix because I had so much fun that whole weekend over on Phoenix Iwaki. It was amazing. It was just amazing. You were a delight. Um, so welcome over to Playnerd Allies. Welcome to Phoenix Iwaki and I are both part of the fabulous Rolling Together stream team. Uh, there's so welcome, welcome, welcome. Today, what you will see is our magnificent mythologies. Each week, we bring on a creator of color and we talk about their culture, and then we actually create a full one shot adventure on stream right in front of you, based on whatever story they tell us. Then the Foundation for Inclusivity in Gaming, who all donations today are going to go to. So please feel free to donate. There is, let me get the right link in there. I think there's an S. Is there an S on there? No, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Lando, could you make that happen if you wouldn't mind? There's but what the donate. My bad. Well, it's one iteration of that. There is the foundation then does is we hire an artist to create fabulous art for the piece. We then pay somebody to do all of the layout, and all of the legalese that goes into all this stuff. And then we hand it back to Zeffy here, and it becomes hers, and she can use it to do whatever she wants. So it's our way of trying to help creators of color, and uplift their voices in the space while also getting some non-Western ideas into the hands of a Western audience. So, hey Zeffy, tell me, who are you?
Who am I? Hi everyone. Yeah, I'm Zafira Nix, and I'm super nervous. And yeah, I'm a Filipina artist, and I kind of love stories, and I also, well, I fell in love with the role playing world thanks to my
Mhm.
client, and so now I'm here in this wonderful community, and I am so lucky that I
Welcome.
was, yeah. And yeah, I am super thankful that our lovely friend Saul was able to introduce me to this
Fabulous.
wonderful foundation, which is Fig, and also the amazing Kyle. And yeah, hopefully I'll be able to share my culture to everyone, and hopefully you'll find love through it.
Oh, we
During
will.
this.
Oh, I promise you. We will find that love. We will find the love in the adventure.
Yes,
There's
we love
Oh
love.
yes, oh yes. And remember, everybody, we are giving away a set of Phoenix dice today.
Woo!
So please hit exclamation point raffle to be entered into that.
Yep.
Remember, Phoenix dice, we love them because they make everything out of recycled materials because they love the world we live in just as much as all the worlds we play in. So, in addition, if you win, it's not a specific set of dice. You can pick any dice set in the entire store when you win. So, yay!
Go
Let's
grab
do that.
those awesome stuff.
So yes, so I'm really excited to just jump on in. So first of all, tell me, uh, what are we going to be talking about today?
So yeah, sorry. Crazy dog. Okay.
Is there a stream puppy? Stream
Yeah.
puppy.
Yep. So they heard the cats outside. Okay, I'm gonna mute for a bit for all of your sakes.
I love it. That's hilarious. There. We are going to talk about fabulous puppies. It's good. It's oh my god, it's so adorable. It's so adorable. That is
Yeah, I'm
just
so
amazing.
sorry. Yeah,
No,
I have
no.
three more outside, so it can get super noisy when there are cats on our roof. So this is
Oh,
a different
sure.
one.
There's we
Yeah,
but that's a
she's.
stray puppy. What's her name?
Oh, her name is Hella.
Hella. I
Yep.
love it. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I
Okay,
just
I'm
got
so
her
sorry.
here. I'm
Give
so
me
sorry.
give me 1 sec. I
Okay.
left my teacup across the room, so I need to go and grab that real quick.
Yep. Oh, thank you, Polly Parasmith. Yeah, I have five, and they can get kind of crazy when cats are out. So,
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. But I don't know if any of you all have this problem, but I need some goddamn caffeine right
yeah, I
now.
feel
That's
you.
what I need.
I feel
So,
you.
so we're gonna have some tea. We're gonna have some
Yay.
tea. It's gonna be great. So yes,
Oh,
what story
look.
are we talking about today?
Yeah, so I was thinking of using like the story regarding Bakunawa, since we all love our dragons.
Oh yes,
So why not push one of the Filipino dragons
I love it. And what's
to
their
the game,
name?
right? Yeah, it's called Bakunawa.
Bakunawa.
So yep. So they are
Fabulous.
like a serpent kind of dragon. Uh
Fabulous. If you send a picture over to Lando, he might be able to actually
oh
like pop that
oh
up.
I
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I sent him some, but it's kind
Oh,
of
I love
messy.
it.
Okay, how do
Right.
I?
So first of all, is this a because my understanding is that you've got sort of like Western dragons are the dragons that have the big wings and breathe
Mm-hmm.
fire and all of that kind of stuff. And is yours more like Chinese Japanese
Uh,
dragons where
yeah,
it's they
kind of
live in
like
the water?
yes, kind of like that. It's like a serpent dragon. He on the stories, Bakunawa is known to like circle around the world through the
Uh-huh.
sea. Yep. So
Fabulous.
okay, I'll send some pics to our lovely Lando.
Awesome. So tell me, what are some of the stories surrounding Bakunawa that you love?
Yeah, the one that stuck in me was kind of cool because in one of the story, the world originally was created with 7 moons.
Okay.
Why do we have one just
Right.
now? Yeah, why? So and then Bakunawa was said to um fell in love with the beauty of the moon through his view from the sea. So so they decided to like um take the moon for themselves. Some say that the Bakunawa ate them, so
Okay.
he she she or he can own them, and then that's where the gods step up. So
Fabulous. Okay, so we've got a dragon, a moon-eating dragon that circles the world. Fabulous. All right. Good start to any story. I like it.
how
So
how
Lando
fun is
just
that?
popped into
Yep.
chat the story of Mayari and Bakunawa.
Yeah, because Mayari is I kind of love Mayari because she is the goddess of the moon. So
Ah, okay.
yeah, they can easily blend together beautifully.
I love
Yes,
it.
Blanche.
So tell me a little bit about Mayari.
Yeah, so in the beginning of time, in the Filipino culture, um, Bathala, which is like the almighty God of the Filipino. Um, he created the world, and then after creating humans, he fell in love with the mortal and had a triplet for daughters. So we have Hanan, which is the goddess of dawn or in the
Okay.
beginning, and then there is Tala, which is the goddess of stars, and then we have Mayari, our beautiful goddess of the moon.
Fabulous. Oh, I love that. And how
Thank
did
you.
Bakunawa and Mayari meet?
Some story says that well, there are like a lot of version of it, but I remember hearing about Mayari and her brother Apolaki having having to need to fight Bakunawa to
Well,
protect what remains of the moon, which is our lonely one that we
oh
have
yeah.
now. So in that fight, it says that Mayari lost her eyes.
Oh.
In hopes to help, like, give the earth the light that the moon provides us, which is
Oh, okay.
yep. So mostly if you look up Mayari, you'll see arts of her, like it's either her eyes is covered or she's missing one. And
I see. Okay, so they are. So this is. Let's get back to the beginning of that fight, though. I want to understand this full story. So, Bakunawa the dragon, who circles the world,
yeah,
sees the moon and wants to
like
destroy them, wants to own them.
yeah. So from what it says that we used to have like 7 moons, we only have one. Oh, because of Bakunawa. And then
Fabulous.
most of the text that I have is in Tagalog, so I'm trying to put them in English as much as I can. Bear with me. So yeah.
Fabulous. So now, why did he want the moons? Did he love the moons? Did he hate the moons?
Yeah,
Did he want to
it's
destroy them
it's
or
like
keep them?
Bakunawa loved the moon so much that in a way he wanted to give them to themselves or own them.
Okay, all right. So he wanted to. All right, so he wanted to own the moons. Fabulous. And so, is there a fight for each moon, or does he just eat 6 moons and then they fight for the last one?
As far as I know, it kind of like took one moon at a time. So I forgot the full details of those.
Sure. So, all right. So he goes after these moons. People, I'm assuming that people will sort of try to stop him from taking these
Yeah.
moons, but none of it works.
Yep. So our lovely gods and goddesses had to step up.
Right.
Yeah.
So when that happens, then finally there's only one moon left, and Mayari and her brother try to stop Bakunawa from eating the moon. So how does removing her eye, how does sacrificing her sight save the moon?
So can I read some stuff here so
Absolutely.
I won't like just give out just what I remember, so we have a concrete like ideas. So okay. So yeah, here it says that Mayari is the goddess of combat, war and revolution, hunt, weapon, beauty, strength, moon, and night. So
so she's very powerful. So she's one of like the original 3 goddesses.
she is the daughter of the main god
Mhm.
from mortal. Let me try.
Oh, her mother was mortal?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So because if I remember correctly, their mother died giving birth to the three of them. So
Mhm.
Bathala took them to the realm of the gods.
Oh, okay.
Let me
Ooh.
just. I hope I didn't miss things.
Story ideas begin. All right, fabulous. There's all right, so they get born, they get taken to the land of the gods.
Yeah.
They're in charge of what was it? The dawn, the stars and the moon?
Yes.
Okay. All
So
right.
okay.
Fabulous. I love that. Then the dragon sees the seven moons, decides that they must own the seven moons.
Well, we all
And
know how beautiful the moon are, and seeing like a lot of them, it's gonna be a big piece to anyone.
hmm.
Oh yeah. So okay. So some text here from another like province or another area in the Philippines. It says that so Mayari and Apolaki, which is her brother, had to fight for the position of being the head of the gods because
Okay.
Akala died because and let's see, and he wasn't able to like leave any will who's gonna be like the head of the family, and then in that fight it says here that Mayari lost her eyes, and then I remember seeing like a text that says her eyes got lost because she had to offer it to help revive the moon. But I think I'll go with
Okay.
that one because since it connects beautifully to what I had in mind,
Hmm.
if that works. Because
Fabulous.
usually yeah we usually have like different version of different story on different
Absolutely.
provinces. So yeah, it's kind of big challenge. Okay.
Yeah, I look at just like, Western myths even. There's always, like
There's a lot.
17 versions depending
Yeah, and
on what part of the country you're from or yeah, like
I agree.
absolutely.
And most of our which is in a bit it's kind of sad because most of this story or myth that we had were like passed through stories by mouth, and it's only been like recorded through text, not super early in time.
Fabulous. All right, so I'm loving the way this is shaping up. All right. Now, so you said that this is a good lead in to
Hmm.
what you were thinking. So tell me what now that we know about the dragons, about the three daughters, about the
Yes.
brother, about the realm of the gods, all that good stuff, what's next?
So the idea I had for our little game is to have the gods and goddesses choose like choose their own champion to help fight the dragon before
Oh,
he
fabulous.
completely devours all the moons. So in our
Ooh.
world, in this world that we're going to create, we are going to um begin with like having all those gorgeous seven moons. And
Sure.
then as the time goes by, I was thinking that well, some will be eaten because well, it's a dragon. But hopefully our wonderful champions, the players, will be able to win and save. Well, one will be great, but hey, if they're able to save more, how awesome
Right,
can that be?
great.
Right? Give us
I
our own
love
world with
that.
tons of
That's
more.
So this is going to be a really like combat intensive challenge,
Yes,
probably.
most
Okay.
likely because yep, we Filipinos love like martial arts and stuff.
Fabulous. All right, so let's see. Things that I'd like to know about this. First off, who do you want, which gods are going to be involved in protecting the moon, the 7 moons? And are each of them going to be responsible for protecting one of them? Or are they all responsible for protecting all of them?
Yeah, it's gonna be like everyone's responsibility in a way, and like depending on how many players is going. So as it's gonna be like a maximum of 7, since
Okay.
just to like keep it in balance, I guess. But yeah, it depends on how many they can get, I guess. From
So
like,
my first thought on this is essentially that the first thing the players do is they'll create their characters, right? They'll come in with their characters. But then the second thing, what I'd like to do is I'd like to have 7 gods that each represent different fundamental aspects of the culture. There is, and depending on which god they choose, that god will empower them and fight with them on that particular moon. And each round, and this whole thing could be essentially a battle royale where you have to take the dragon down a certain number of hit points on your moon, and then it'll pass on to the next moon. But each moon, instead of it being, each moon has hit points, and the dragon won't attack you, they'll attack the moon. And if your moon gets destroyed, then you're out of the game. So the whole thing is there will be like several moons could be saved, but ultimately like you have to have one. And so it'll be like, are you the right champion for this god? And it could very well be that it's like, one of the gods is all about healing. So if you have a cleric that can continually like heal the moon or something like that, that'll be great. They can empower the healing. But if you've got like a barbarian over with that god, the synergy probably won't work quite as well, So you have to make good choices about which god represents your skill set.
I love that idea. Oh my god. Okay. I'm so excited. Okay. And then okay.
All right, so fabulous. I love that. All right, so we're gonna have 7 moons. So first, all right, so let's pop over to the document that we are creating. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do some important people. So let's outline who the gods are first, right? And I think this might not even have chapters. I don't think this is gonna be a traditional 3-act story. I think we can definitely, I think what we can do is we can have like different things will start happening as moons get destroyed. Like maybe certain gods get empowered if other gods leave the space. Like I'm thinking, like if if one of them is like a god of the sun. Is there a god of the sun in the culture? Because it could be like, like you have like one god who's sort of the fulcrum, and then 3 sets of gods that are opposites of each other. So when one of those gods dies, like when the god of the sun dies, the god of the moon gets empowered because the sun is no longer blocking that light. Yeah.
This is amazing because the god of the sun is Apollo, which is Mayari's brother who ended up fighting. Okay.
Fabulous. Well, it could absolutely be then that it's like if one of them gets defeated, then they join their sibling.
Yes.
So then you have two gods on one moon instead of one, and you get both of these empowerments to that moon, so that the players that are left get more power to fight the dragon. Does that make sense?
Dragon's
Do we
going
have?
to be...
Oh yeah, dragon's gonna get just beat to hell. All right. So the goddess of the moon, her name is Mayari.
Yes.
Okay, so Mayari. Lando, can you? I'm so sorry. Can you move your cursor? There we go. It was just right in front of where I was trying to type. There's Mayari, goddess of the moon. And then what's her brother's name?
It's Apolaki, which is...
Can you put that? Can you pop that into chat?
Okay, on chat.
That'll be fabulous. Okay, Apolaki. All right, I'm gonna take that. And that's the god of the sun?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Now, just one sec. Apolaki, god of the sun. Fabulous. All right. Do we have any others that would work really well together? Because I'm feeling like god of the moon and god of the sun. Like one is the goddess of she represents light and strength and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm assuming Apolaki as a god of the sun, that part of his thing is fire and heat as well. Is that right? Or is it something completely different?
Yeah, I'm gonna double check that for us. Okay.
Oh, thank you for subscribing, Hamilton. You're fabulous. Yay.
Okay, so he is also, aside from being the god of sun, same as Mary is, he is the god of war.
Oh, okay.
And
so they're both gods of war.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably why they end up clashing when their father went away.
Sure.
And, okay. Struggle of not having a proper. Soon.
All right.
I swear.
What other gods? All right. So let's start. I'm going to jump up into the intro. Is there a god or a goddess of prophecy?
Prophecy.
Because I would love that, because I feel like that would be sort of the narrator, the god, that's sort of what the DM could be, as the god of prophecy, and it's just you're telling the story, but it changes depending on what's going on with the players,
Cool. Okay, let me see if Google will give us someone awesome.
Yeah. Let's see. So we've got the god of prophecy, knowing that the loss of the moons is imminent, has created a plan to halt the destruction.
Okay. It's not giving me a name.
The moons. Losing the moons will destroy not only the tides, but all the life that depends on the bounty of the sea. Everything would be everything would end an inch at a time as the seas fell silent and the towns of the islands became uncovered graveyards.
Yeah, so
See, is there not a god of prophecy? Is there anybody that's like the god of truth, the god of knowledge, anything like that?
I am getting mostly doesn't protects and help guide people so far. So maybe we can.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we can figure out something else, you know, as
Or
we
we
go
can
through.
let,
No worries.
yeah, we can let like um a mortal who is a seer because in a lot of like pre-Spanish Filipino like
Mhm.
towns or there are always a seer in their tribe
Oh, okay.
that reach out to
All
the
right.
gods and gods.
What would the name of this seer be?
What can we give?
Let's see what that is. Let's so let's see. So I will put blank, comma,
Yeah, for now. We'll
the
find it.
greatest seer the world has known. The greatest seer of the island.
Maybe as Bathala dies, like he might have bestowed like this like protection kind of blessing to someone to help guide like the gods and goddesses and the mortals, but
We could absolutely have it be that like the seer was given like a pendant from Bukala. Did I get the name right?
yeah, it's Bathala.
But can you put that in chat so, so I can see it spelled out? What is it, Landa? Do we know what that sound is?
Bathala. Okay. I think it's my sister's fan. Okay.
Pardon?
Okay. It's that much better.
Oh, it's still it's still about the same. There is.
No. So sorry.
Oh, it's fine. There
Sorry?
is it just I'm trying to figure out what it is. Is it an electronic thing or is there sound that's being muffled somewhere? There, then it just ended. Is it an echo of me? Oh, okay, now. Yeah, we're just going to take a quick 5-minute break and we're going to figure it out. All right. And so we will be back in 1 sec. Please stick around as we begin to create what looks like it's going to be a delightful battle against a dragon. Yay!
Make sure to
Hello again. Hi. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We seem to have found, we have isolated the issue and we are working on it, but we're also working on a fabulous story. Fabulous. Do you want to punch a dragon in the face to stop it from eating your moon? You sure do. That's what you want. So let's start with all right, so the greatest seer of the island, knowing the loss of the moons is imminent, has created a plan to halt the destruction. The seer was gifted with an amulet from, and I'm so sorry, can you pop Batala? Okay. Batala. Fabulous. So from Batala. Is that right? Did I spell that right? Yes, okay. Batala. She was gifted with an amulet from Batala that will grant one boon from each god. And the seer has begged the boon of various gods. They have asked that the gods help to protect the moons by choosing mortal champions to work against the great dragon. Sorry, what is the dragon's name again? Where are we? I'm terrible with names to start with, and now there's a whole bunch running around.
I still don't know half my new office mates.
I love it. All right, so Bakunawa, fabulous. All right, so champions to work against the great dragon, Bakunawa. Bakunawa, who desires to consume the moons and possess their majesty. Each moon will have a champion and a god to empower and protect that champion. This is the only way for the moons to survive total destruction. All right, fabulous. So we've got our setup. The seer has been given from Batala at the moment of pardon me, of the great god's death that will grant one boon. All right, so we're just going to start it instead of with a name. Yeah, we can try to stop sharing the music and see if that will help with that. All right. Zephy, if you want to turn your mic back on real quick, let's see. Let's see if we still get the buzz. Nope, that wasn't it. Never mind. There's chat. Let me know, chat. Can you hear the buzzing, or is that just me? Because if it's just me, I can handle it. I just don't want, chat to be hearing it. So let me know if you can hear a weird buzzing happening right now, and we will continue doing something fabulous over here. All right, so the greatest seer of the island, knowing that the loss of the moons is imminent, has created a plan to halt the destruction. Losing the moons will destroy not only the tides, but all the life that depends on the bounty of the sea. Everything would end an inch at a time as the seas fell silent and the towns of the island became uncovered graveyards. Okay, all right. The seer was gifted with an amulet from Batala at the moment of the great god's death that will grant one boon from each god, each other god. The seer has begged the boon of various gods. They have asked that the gods help to protect the moons by choosing mortal champions to work against the great dragon, Bakunawa, who desires to consume the moons and possess their majesty. Each moon will have a champion and a god to empower and protect that champion. This is the only way for the moons to survive total destruction. All right, fabulous. Absolutely. So the first thing we need to do is we need to figure out the gods. So we've got 2 of them. We need 5 more. So which gods are we going to pop in there?
I think we'll need like a kind of character.
Which one? So if you could pop the names of these gods and sort of like their portfolios, who they're the gods of, that would be fabulous.
Maybe you can decide to based on their like description.
Yeah, it's really, so hold on just a sec, everybody. We're going to take another quick 5-minute break and see if we can't fix this. So yeah, can we pop the card up real quick? All right, hello again. All right, we think we finally figured it out. So we don't have Fuzzy
It's
Buzzy
my
anymore.
earphone. I'm so sorry, everyone.
It's totally fine. It's totally fine. We're story writers, not techies. So like that's fine. That's fine. We got it sorted. We got it sorted. All right, fabulous. So now let's get 5 more. We need 5 more gods. So which gods are we gonna pop in there? We've got Mayari and Napalaki. And
Yeah,
then
so sorry, my brother came home, so the dogs are really noisy. Okay. So we have Idianale. I'm putting down her name. Okay. So I'm thinking, if will she be able to fit like a healer or protector kind of?
absolutely, we could absolutely create one that is
Yes, her details is she's the goddess of labor and good deeds. So
of labor and
natives
good
used to
deeds.
call, yeah, natives used to call for her guidance in order to make their work successful. So yeah, she's like the goddess of harvest and kind of like that. Like
All right,
she tends to help everyone in a way as long as she can.
fabulous. All right, so this is goddess of harvest,
And good deeds.
harvest and good deeds. All right,
Wisdom.
awesome.
Or
And what's her? So we've got. So her portfolio would be, I feel like, more sort of druid type stuff, like having to do with plants and things like that.
yeah, I think that's gonna fit perfectly.
Okay, fabulous. So let's have another, so a god or goddess that has to do with nature then. Let's pair the two of them. So you've got like harvest. Is there a god or goddess of like the jungle or of untamed nature?
We have here I just saw her earlier. I saw here like the goddess of the wind and rain. I feel like that's gonna or
All right, let's see. Yeah, because I think that that would be super interesting to have like, so you've got the god and the goddess of the sun and the moon. And
yes.
when they combine,
Okay.
what we can do is we can create a situation where it's like when they're on their own, they have individual powers. And then when one of their moons gets destroyed, they pop over to the other moon to help the champion that's still left, and their powers combine into something much more powerful. Right?
Oh.
So that as
Okay.
champions,
So here,
as mhm.
sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you. What's our next one? What's our next?
Okay, so we have here she is Idianales daughter.
Oh, okay.
So her name is, I'm typing it here. So it's Anitu Tabu.
Anitong Tabu. Okay.
Yes. The pickled-minded goddess of wind and rain.
Yes. Yes, that's our bard. That is definitely for bards. All right, awesome. Let me just get this sorted out as far as colors. All right. So
Like I'm imagining like here's Ideanale was very kind-hearted, serious, like very regal, and then there's her daughter is like, Mom!
let's see.
So we
Chaotic.
still have 4.
All right, fabulous.
We have 3 more, right?
Yep. Oh no, we need 3 more. So we're gonna need one that will stand on their own. That'll just be sort of um, uh, like sort of the central champion that like doesn't need any help. Some god that like I don't know if there's like ooh like a god of the underworld or something like that where they just don't have any friends.
Okay. Let's try to find the loner then. Okay, we have here that the note. It says here, the ill-tempered god of the sea. Are you interested with that
Oh,
one?
absolutely. Well, because that
Since we
could
all know
also
how,
be it
right?
could also be with the sea. What you're dealing with is, this is where the dragon lives, and so
Yes, and we all know how like the moon is associated with like the tides and stuff like that.
Mhm. All
So
right. So
here,
which
I'll
god
send
is
the name.
this?
If only my mouse will highlight the right stuff.
Mm. All right, I'm
So
gonna
it's
try this one without help. I just want to see if I can start
okay.
like getting these names a little bit.
Do it by syllables. That's the technique.
Amanicable. Yay! I
Got it.
wasn't sure what to do with the L E at
Beautifully.
the end because in
Yeah.
English it'd be boo.
Amanicable. Right. Yeah. So in Tagalog it usually goes by syllables. So gonna cut them all out.
I'm
Okay,
excited.
so
I got one.
you did so perfectly. Okay, so originally this god was worshipped as the god of hunters. In more modern stories, he had become associated as the ill-tempered god of the sea, replacing Aman Sinaya among of the first generation gods, aside from Valhalla. He was never married after his love was spurned by a beautiful mortal maiden
Oh dear.
who is maganda. So maganda is like Tagalog of beautiful, and we have one story, like the origin of mortals were in this huge bamboo tree. It was cut half by lightning, and then inside is like a man and a woman, which is maganda and malakas.
Huh?
In English, it's like the strong one and the beautiful one.
Nice, nice.
So yeah, so maganda stole Amanikables' lover. And then, in frustration, he swore vengeance against the humans by sending turbulent waves and horrible tempests in order to wreck boats and to drown men. So,
Oh, okay, wait. So let's shift the story a little bit, okay? So
I'm laughing. I'm laughing that
I
look in your face.
oh yeah, like oh we get to mess with the players. I feel
Yeah.
like first, thank you so much, Dungeon Glitch, for the community stuff. That's fabulous. So what if we did a thing where this god has a
Mm-hmm.
champion, and we like as the moons get destroyed, the other gods like try to help each other, but
Mm-hmm.
eventually, like the moons just end. The dragon gets to them.
Yes.
Um, and then they think that they did like on the final moon, the players get to defeat the dragon. Um, but it turns out that this was all vengeance from this god, and now they have to face the god
Okay.
together.
Like it's the man behind the curtain now, kind of feel.
Yeah, I
Okay,
feel like
I'm
this could
loving
be a
that.
situation where the DM will like could absolutely the DM could absolutely pick one of the players to be the villain, and none of the
Yes.
other players know that this player is the villain. That would
So
make
they
me
won't know
so
which
happy.
one of them.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, that's so awesome.
And they're actually, that makes sense because the god of the sea is on the side of the dragon. It turns out,
Yes.
there's
Who
um
knows what's going on under there,
yeah,
right?
absolutely. And it could absolutely be that like this person, like the dragon, like, will sort of attack but won't do a lot of damage to this
Yes.
one. There is, all right, cool. So let's see what that looks like. So it would be so chapter 1 will be um the players must defend their individual moons from destruction. Then chapter 2 will be as the moons fall, the the gods the gods join forces based on their alliances. And in chapter 3, the saboteur must be destroyed. All right, fabulous. And that way it could absolutely be that, like, it seems like, like this is sort of, what? It'll be for 6 players. And what we'll do is we'll have this god protect one of the moons completely, so that as the players' other moons die, they get sort of pulled out of the combat and have to go sit in this safe place.
Yep.
And then eventually the god opens it up as the dragon is destroyed, and then they have to face off against the god who's been protecting them.
Oh my god.
This will be fun. All right, so let's see. We've got, all right, so Hunters of the Sea, the big bad guy. All right, so now what's another? So we've got a brother and a sister. We've got a mother and a daughter.
Yes.
Who else do we have? We could absolutely do husband and wife, or husband and husband, or wife and wife, or whatever that is. There is.
Okay, so what? That is perfect.
Oh, I'm so excited about it. This is gonna be fabulous. I just love it. Just makes me so happy, like and it makes me sound like a sadist. It's not about hurting a bunch of players. It's about that moment when, like in this situation, where the players suddenly realize that while they've had to sit for a while because they lost, and do nothing, hoping that they'll be able to protect the moon, then all of a sudden they realize, oh damn, I'm gonna pick up my weapons and I'm gonna stop this guy now. There's, I think this. Oh, this is
like
gonna be super fun.
a lot of people will relate on you to that.
Right?
A lot of DMs. We love you, DMs.
Yeah.
So
right.
here,
Yes.
We have a lot of husbands and wives here, but this one. Okay.
I'm excited.
I feel like it's gonna kind of repeat what Idianali has, because so the wife is Ikapati. Let me. I'm gonna let you read the husband's name later.
This is gonna be really hard.
No, it's only okay. So she is the goddess of cultivated land. She was the most understanding and kind among the deities of Bathala. Her gift to man was agriculture. As the benevolent giver of food and prosperity, she was respected and loved by the people. From her king, fertility of fields, and health of flocks and herds. So maybe kind of like the healer, kind of.
Sure. There is, all right, so Ikapati. And we'll call it, since we've got a goddess of the harvest, we'll make this one the goddess, you said herds, right? The goddess
Yes,
of the herds.
health, health, of flocks and herds. So
Of the flocks and herds.
like kinda someone who holds life and
Mm-hmm. So prosperity and life. Fabulous. Absolutely makes sense for a cleric. I love it. There's and then who is their husband?
this is the husband.
Mapulon?
Yes.
All right, fabulous. All right, I love
Okay,
it. Okay,
so,
wasn't too hard. All right.
yeah, like the first one was much harder.
Yeah.
So fun. Okay, he is the god of seasons, and then
Okay.
okay, do we have, yeah, that's his only explanation after the super long explanation
Oh,
from
absolutely.
Ikatali.
So god of
Um,
seasons.
season.
Um,
And a quick note, the seasons in the Philippines is usually from like kind of like July, somewhere like that. It's kind of like half sunny and then half rainy.
okay.
And in the middle, it's super sunny and super rainy. So we are currently in the super sunny part.
Oh, so
Yeah.
seasons are, so it's not all 4 seasons. It is
Yes.
like you would have
We-
oh, that's right, because you're so close to the equator.
Sorry?
You're very close to the equator, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we never experienced like winter and like fall. Super colorful.
So have you, so now I'm just curious, have you ever seen snow like up close?
No.
I love
Never.
that's so, I grew up
That's
in Colorado.
shaved ice counts.
right. There is I grew up at do you use meters or do you use feet? Are you imperial or
Yeah, I'm more. I think I can understand feet more. I can compute
Feet?
it
Okay.
properly in my head.
Yeah, there
Yes.
is. So I lived at about 8,000 feet. So it would be like about like 2,700 meters. And it was on top of a mountain when I was growing up. So it was just, there was snow all the time.
So fun.
So for me, it's one of those things growing up with that. I remember when I was in college, it was the first time that I had ever asked anybody that. I was like, somebody came in, they're like, I've never seen snow before. And I was like, what? Oh my God. It just blew my mind.
Yeah.
So, all right. So,
Soon,
no, but this
hopefully.
is one of the reasons that I love having conversations like this, because I'm like, honestly, it's not something that I would have thought about. When you said seasons, I immediately thought,
It's already
winter,
before-
spring, summer, fall. Absolutely. And then I'm like, oh no, really? It is rainy season, sunny season, and then mixed.
Yes. And then the crazy ones.
And then crazy season.
Yeah. Like earlier it was like I think 30 plus something in the morning, and then somewhere in the afternoon it was raining so hard, and then it just disappeared, and then it's super hot again.
I love it. There's okay, fabulous. So we've got seasons. All right, god of seasons. So that'll be a god of change and
Weathers.
yeah, change and weather. All right. Fabulous. There is, all right, cool. So we've got Mayari, Apalaki, Indianale, Inituntabu, um, Amanicable, Ikapati, and Mapulon.
Yes.
All right,
Oh my god.
fabulous. So we've
It
got
just all fits perfectly. I love it.
as so I think I'd like to do a little shift here. Let's
Yes.
have Indianale and Akapati as a team, and then have Anituntabu and Mapulon as a team, because we've got wind and rain, which I think would fit really well in with the seasonal changes.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So there is all right, cool. So we've got, so then Indianale
So
and
they are more in sync, right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I think that'll be fabulous. All right, cool. So we are all right. So we've got war, we've got like harvest and flocks and herds, and then we've got weather, essentially.
Yes.
All right, cool. So let us see.
And then that ungraded in the middle.
Right. And then that bastard over there.
Yeah.
All right, teams up with Apalaki, teams up with Mayari. This is gonna be so much fun. Teams up
And I
with
super can I just say I super duper love how your brain works. Like, oh my god, such cool.
well, thank you very much. Let's see. Teams up with Idianale. And then we've got teams up with Mapulon and teams up with Tintabu. All right, fabulous. All right, so we've got our important people. All right, so let's map this out for the DM. So most of this is going to be sort of like mechanics, I feel like, and layer actions, and then a big sort of stat block for the dragon itself, and a stat block for Amani Kable. So there is, so the first thing in chapter 1 will be each, let's see, so intro, each player no more than 6 total must choose a god aside from Amani Kable. In chapter 1, each god will provide support to their champion until their moon is destroyed. When a moon is destroyed, the player will be teleported to Amani Kable's moon, which is a protected space. They will not be able to participate in the battle until chapter 2. All right, so in chapter 1, and I think what it should be is that chapter 1 ends when 3 moons are destroyed.
Yes.
So once those 3 are destroyed, then those 3
So we'll
and then
have that team ups.
Yeah, and so it'll be so essentially the way that I'm thinking of it is that regardless of which moons are destroyed, in chapter 2, you'll get pairs of players and pairs of gods on a moon. So that you'll get knocked out, 3 people get knocked out in chapter 1, but they get to rejoin in chapter 2. Then chapter 2 ends when all 3 of the other moons are destroyed or the dragon is killed. So the game can end in chapter 2. But if all 3 moons are destroyed, then the final chapter is, I think, Amane Kable trying to feed the adventurers to the dragon.
Okay.
So you've got to defeat a dragon and a god. So it could be, and I think in that situation, you know, as the players will not only in chapter 3, in order to facilitate this crazy, huge, ridiculous battle, each of the players will gain control of the gods. And it'll be like, you know, there'll be, so I think for each god, there'll be sort of 3 actions, like essentially legend. Ooh, that would be it. It'll be, so the layer action belongs to the dragon, but the legendary actions all belong to the gods.
Okay.
So after a player's turn, they can then utilize one of the legendary actions of the gods. All right, cool. How does that feel to you?
Yeah, I think that's perfect. Like
Right, awesome.
it's going to balance like having that normal characters team up with the gods without overpowering the gods.
Yeah. Yeah, so the gods can't, like, they can't intervene directly, but they can help out doing things that are really good for their players. All right, cool. So, all right, they will not be able to participate in the battle until chapter 2. As each, let's see, chapter 1 will end once 3 moons have been destroyed by I'm so sorry, I do not. Bakunawa.
Bakunawa, yeah.
By Bakunawa. All right, once 3 moons have been Bakunawa. All right, it is. Oh, that's the thing that we need is plot hooks. All right, so let me get that where it should be, and that is heading 3. Nope, it's heading 4. There we go. Plot hooks. The players are transported to the moons by the individual gods to be their champions. All right, cool. And we can figure out some others later. All right. So we've got, I think, let's put the mechanics in chapter 1. All right. Once 3 moons have been destroyed by Bakunawa, and this will be an inset. Inset moons stats. All right, so let's first figure out what sort of level this should be, because I feel like this should be a pretty high level campaign, right?
Yes.
Since we are dealing with gods, goddesses, huge dragons, and how often do you just get to like beat each other up, you know, at like 13th or 15th level, something like that, right? what level spells do we want? Or you know what? Let's look at the various types of classes when they get their sort of highest level thing.
Yeah.
So let's see. So with artificers, and Lando, will you just keep track of these of each one for me, please? That would be super, super useful. Oh, soul of artificer. So artificers get stuff. Oh, all the way up. Sorry, I'm looking at. Let me look at the subclasses. That's what I'm looking at. All right. Let's
Like
see.
kind of
So
near
we've got
on the max level, but not super right there.
yeah. I'm like, okay, so we've got. All right, so they get their stuff at 3rd level, 5th level, 9th level, and 15th. Okay, so 15th level is the cap for artificers. We're just going to go through this. Barbarians. Let's see. Let's just pick one. Path of the Storm Herald. The top one for a barbarian looks like 14th level. Okay, so we've got that. So currently 15th level is the highest. Because I'd like them to have like their capstone feature. If they're doing this 14th level for bards. Let's see, next is a cleric. I feel like there's one where you get something at like 17th level or something. Clerics are 17th level. They get their crazy ridiculous thing. So let's say that this will be an adventure for people of 16th or 17th level. That way the DM can choose whether certain people get their capstone or not. All right, cool. So moon stats. So we're going to say this is introduction. A game for 16th to 17th level players. All right, cool. All right. Hey, I'd love to hear from chat. Do you want to play a game where you get to be a 17th level crazy person with the assistance of the gods? So, all right. So what we're dealing with here then, if we're 17th level, people can do major damage.
Yes.
So how many rounds do we want the first bit, knowing the battle takes forever in D&D, and we want the first round to be like an hour, right? Or the first chapter to be about an hour. How many rounds do you think we'll get through if we've got 6 players?
I'm not sure. Maybe 5 works.
Oh my god! At my table, we would never get through 5. Like in an hour at 17th level. Oh god, no. We might get.
I
through,
haven't been at
maybe 3.
17th level. I'm so sad.
Maybe.
My max was 15, and it was just a dream. Like it was the dream of my character, and then I went back to 1.
I love it. Yeah, we did an episode where we got thrown into the future and everything was all messed up, and then we all got to become giant monsters to defeat a bunch of fiends, which is super delightful, you know.
I know.
And then we came back.
Why?
Right.
Yeah.
There's no point. There's all right, cool. So I'm gonna say let's make the first one 3 rounds. So that means so what that could be is that in those 3 rounds, that each round, I sort of like this. We can make it a little more random. So it's not so you're not looking at a player and being like, you messed up, you didn't do good enough, so you got murdered. Like it'll be each round, the dragon will, at the end of the round, the dragon's action will be to consume one of the moons.
Yes.
So that way, the first thing is 3 rounds. The second thing is 3 rounds,
Okay.
and it'll be just a dice roll.
Yeah. Question: How do you think Bakunawa will like succeed in eating like the moon, or how will the player will succeed in stopping him on devouring one? Like,
I think,
should we make like a certain hit point
yeah,
when
I
he's
think-
about to attack the moon?
yeah, I
What do you
think
think?
if the players together can do a certain amount of damage,
Yes.
then it'll stop Bakunawa from consuming it. What Bakunawa will do at that point, because what I'd like is that
Mhm.
on each of the players' turns, Bakunawa will have an attack of some
Yes.
kind.
Yes.
And that it will be, when we create the stat block, we can look at it and be like, one might be like sending a water spout at the moon. One might be, because it's a dragon of the Bakunawa is a dragon of the water. So they don't really
Yes.
have any sort of like fire abilities or things like that, right?
No.
No.
It's kind of like a mystical creature that lives in the sea, in a way.
Fabulous.
Like maybe it's just super duper big in a way.
Yeah. So we can have their attacks be like a bite attack,
Water-based.
a claw attack,
Yeah.
a tail attack like a regular dragon.
Yep.
And then doing like, one could be like, their big attack could be like tidal wave,
Yeah.
that would hit all the moons. Another attack could be like water spout that hits like 2 of the moons, and then one that would be a so like bite, claw, and tail would each hit 1 of the moons. Tidal wave hits all of them. Water spout hits 2 of them. And then what would be could we do monsoon
Yeah.
as an attack, and just like have it just start like a shattering rain on 3 of the moons, so that like, and so you just roll a d6 to see what the attack will be, and against which moon, each time. So no player really knows when they're going to be attacked or how they're going to be attacked, but it might be against one, and then each moon will have a certain number of hit points. So eventually attacks could in fact destroy the moon on their own. So the moon starts sort of crumbling, so that there's constant danger everywhere. All right, so in that situation, all right, inset we'll do moon stats, and then inset Bakunawa's stat block. Fabulous. All right, so moon stats. If we're 17th level, players are going to have somewhere between 100 and 200 hit points. So we want attacks to be able to do, let's call it half of their hit points in damage each time. So that they have to like have healing items, they have to be taking care of themselves, or they just get knocked down, right?
They still need to be careful.
Absolutely.
Just don't not keep on attacking.
So we'll do, all right, so we'll say, so Bakunawa's attacks will do between, let's say, 35 and 60 damage in general. Then the moon stats, if that's the case, if every attack is going to do that, let's say that the moon's hit points will be, each moon will have, let's say, 200 hit points. I feel like that's enough so that if one of them just keeps getting pummeled, you know, and it can be that like the tidal wave is a 1-round effect, but like the water spout is like a 3-round effect, and the monsoon is a 2-round effect, things like that. So there's constant damage happening all the time. I think that'll be, I think we can do that. That'll be fun. And then as moons crumble away, then the dragon will, and we can have we'll write something fabulous so that like each moon is made of a different substance that the dragon wants to eat. You know, one can be like full of pearls, one can be made of silver, you know, so as it gets, you know, they just consume it and sort of like add it to their hoard, you know, at the bottom of the sea.
Okay.
All right, so we've got 200 HP for the moons. We will do Bakunawa's stat blocks later, but attacks will include claw, bite, a what?
Tail whip.
Tail whip, fabulous. Tail whip, monsoon, water spout, and tidal wave. All right, fabulous. So we've got that. There is then, let's say that I feel like if Bakunawa has the same amount of hit points as all of the moons combined, I feel like that would be about right, which would put us at, what, 1,400 hit points for this guy. That means yeah, they won't go down. Super easy. There's I think we might need to put we might need to kibosh a couple of spells, like no wish spells, you know. Stuff like that. We'll do. We'll make sure that's not a thing. All right, cool. So we've got, let's do 1,400 HP. All right, cool. So chapter 1 could last for quite a while, right? Depending on if they manage to stop Bakunawa from eating moons at the end of each. Let's see. 1 layer action. 1 layer action, eat moon. This will be stopped if the combined damage of all players in 1 round is more than 200 HP. Fabulous.
Yeah.
All right. And absolutely, it can be, we can put a thing in there that states that Bakunawa is so large that there is always some part of its body close enough to hit with a physical attack. So that if you have people who are fighters and paladins and stuff like that, they're not just sort of standing there waiting for the dragon to get close enough to actually do something. All right. Let's see. All right, cool. So we've got destroy Bakunawa. We've got we'll get the moon stats done. there is, and Bakunawa uses, Bakunawa has as many legendary actions as there are players. They do not attack on their own, but on their own turn. But at the end of each of the players' turns, the dragon will use one of its 6 attacks randomly on a random moon. All right, cool. So the players have to work together to stop the moons from being eaten, but that's not going to stop the moons from being destroyed, so that we can eventually get them down to the one moon. All right, so in chapter 2, all the players who were eliminated in chapter 1 by having their moons destroyed will join with another player on their moon while their god combines with the original on that moon. So each of the 3 remaining moons will have 2 players and 2 gods. Fabulous. Okay. So we're going to have to define what the legendary actions of the gods are, and then we're go for chapter 1, and then what the combined legendary actions of the gods will be in chapter 2. So that'll be delightful. When the final 3 moons are destroyed, chapter 3 will start. If the players manage to kill Bakunawa, then the moons are saved, but they must face, and I'm going to go back up here, Amanakable. They must face Amanakable in battle. Okay, fabulous. So at that point, they'll be pretty worn down, you know. And they will have to take out this god. So we're going to need to do a stat block for Amanakable in chapter 3. Stat block for Amanakable. All right, fabulous. So if they kill Bakunawa in chapter 2, they can save more than 1 moon. If they don't kill Bakunawa in chapter 2, then Bakunawa and Amanakable are going to try to kill them. So yes, all right. I'm loving this. This makes me so happy. Okay. All right, cool. So this is essentially going to be a really weird battle royale type.
Yeah. Like one big chaos.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, cool. So stat block for Amanakable. I feel like we're gonna need to do Amanekable speech. DM reads. So we'll need to create a speech there. I think at the beginning of chapter 2, a speech. Amanekable speech. Read by the DM. Fabulous. And then Amanekable speech read by the DM. Okay, cool. So in chapter 1, they will, like tell the players that, explain how to stop the dragon from eating the moons, right? There's in chapter 2, I think they can be super surprised that everybody's teaming up. Wait, what are you doing? What's happening? And in chapter 3, essentially can say, well, my plan fell apart. Now I'm gonna murder all of you. All right, fabulous. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And let's see. All right, where do we want to start? Let's start with the gods' legendary actions. So we have got, all right, so legendary actions of
How
the
many
gods.
are we going to give them?
I think we can do, let's give them 3. Each one will have 3, and the players can choose which of those legendary actions they want to use, right? Actions of the gods. Players will choose which action their god
And
will
then,
take. Dragon attacks. Yes.
For the combined legendary action, will one works? Like one super OP attack?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. I love that. It starts as like 3 you can choose, and then in chapter 2, it's one thing that they'll do at the end. Oh, you know what we could do? We could say that, like, in chapter 2, you only get to use this combined legendary action once. So it'll be something super powerful, but you have to pick the right time for it. All right, so Mayari, what will her legendary actions be?
She's going to be our.
So she's Goddess War,
So
Goddess
gravity.
of the Moon. Ooh, gravity. Ooh, all right, fabulous. Let me see. Okay. I think, oh, you know what? Each of their legendary actions can only be used once. So the god will take after the dragon attacks. Each legendary action can be taken once. All right, so Mayari, if we want to do something, Mistress of Gravity will be Mayari utilizes the forces of gravity that rule the tides and reverses them for a moment. And she can utilize that to avoid a dragon attack. So, like, if there's tempest, the rain reverses.
Yeah.
if it is a water spout, like that goes away. There is uh tides and reverses them for a moment. Um this legendary action allows a player to avoid one dragon attack for 1 round. All right, cool. So that is Mistress of the Moon. Let me see. Let's do Protector of the Moon, where any the moon only takes like half damage from any attack for that round, so that they can actually like avoid having their moon destroyed if things are happening. Do we want to do that, or do we want to give the player like something instead? Because the players are going like with all of these things, like the bite is going to hit both the player and the moon,
Yeah. Because they're standing there.
Well, let's think about, okay, so if we're doing essentially reverse gravity, then Mayari could be, her things could have to do with magic. So it could be like, this could be for sorcerers or wizards or warlocks, right?
Yeah.
So let's do, let's do Magic of the Moon, where she replenishes one of the highest level spell slots
Okay.
that this person has. Of the Moon. Mayari replenishes the highest level spell slot that has been used in the fight so far. All right, so far. Fabulous.
Last one can be like attack based, maybe.
Fabulous.
We have like a protection, and then we have like an assist. So the third one can be something that deals damage directly, I guess.
Absolutely. Let's see the reflection.
Yeah.
I'm thinking reflection of the moon, where it is Mayari, because her brother is the sun. Mayari takes whatever attack the dragon has just done and reflects it back at the dragon in the form of fire. So if the dragon bites, suddenly there's a fire dragon that pops and bites
Biting
it.
back.
If they release like a water spout, then like a fire tornado suddenly appears and does damage to the dragon. Reflection of the moon. Mayari reflects back any attack the dragon makes against her champion this round in the form of a fire this round while converting it to fire. All right, fabulous. All right, cool. There, we've got Mayari. Next one, we are going to do Apalaki. All right, Apalaki. All right, so God of the Sun. And I like this. I like this. 1 defense, 1 assist, 1 attack.
Yeah. Let's pretend that we've planned that.
Right? Absolutely. Hey, everyone in chat. We absolutely planned all of that. There's you need to rewatch the VOD and understand that we did it on purpose. There's okay, fabulous. So we have got so with the god of the sun, let's look at the god of the sun. So Apalaki, what are his major characteristics?
Well, let's see. For Apology,
Ooh, and that's the thing we can do. Instead of it being based on specific classes, it can be Mayari and Apalaki as a team deal with magic. And then another one deals with martial, and then another one deals with rogues. Ooh, absolutely. Weather would be rogues, and then the other one will be martial. So like aimed at like paladins. You know, there is, all right, cool. I'm absolutely, there we go. All right, so other fun stuff with mages. So if we want to protect them, let's do the blazing sun, which blinds the dragon. So for a round, it has disadvantage on its attacks, or it only does like half of the damage that it would normally do for the round.
like it's going to have a little damage and then it's blinded for a turn. What do you think?
Yeah, I like it. Let's do, all right, so blazing sun. Let's call that noonday sun. Noonday sun. Let's see. So let's do a flash of intense sunlight slams into the dragon, doing, I don't want it to be like too much damage, but I want it to have some effect. So let's say like 3d10, so potentially like 30 damage. Or do we want to go higher than that?
For I think we can 30. I think 30 is good because we don't want to deal too much damage because
No.
we are also putting like a disadvantage on Bakunawa.
Yeah. Let's see. Flash of intense sunlight slams into the dragon, do 3d10 damage, and
Blinded.
giving and blinding the dragon. I can type. Blinding the dragon until the start of its next turn. Any damage dealt while it's blinded is halved. Fabulous. All right, cool. So next, so that would be, I feel like that would be the helpful one. So we need a protective one and an attack and a true attack one. So I feel like are there any interesting creatures that are associated with the sun?
Here,
Wait, no, let's use that for the flocks and
Yeah.
herds goddess. What about
how
just a very
about like I don't know if this makes sense though, but like weapons are made by being like melted by too much heat, right? How about like boosting a weapon?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, you know what you could do? This would be cool. is if you, let's call it reforge. So reforge. Take any item that this person has, and the god will make it one sort of rarity level higher.
Like
So
it's
you
going
can,
to be blessed by the sun.
yeah. So it's like, so regardless of what class you are, if you're on this moon, you can take, like as a wizard, you could take, you know, a wand that's a rare wand and then turn it into a very rare wand, you know, so you could pick a new magic item. I think that would be delightful. And you can only use it once, so it's only one item, so you'd have to make a really good choice, you know, when it comes to that.
Like the party will have to talk
Right.
about that carefully.
Well, let's
For
do
who's going to get it.
all right, so intro, a game for 16th to 17th level players. In chapter 1, let's see, individuals from destruction with the help of their individual gods as the dragon attempts to destroy them all. Based on their alliances. All right, so it will be intro. Each player should choose. I'm gonna say at 17th level, you've got some pretty powerful stuff. So each player should start with, I'm gonna say 2 rare and 1 very rare item. So, you know, if they choose to use the reforge action on their very rare item, they could get a legendary item, which makes sense at 17th level. So,
yeah.
All right, cool. So reforge. Apolaki takes the essence of an item and infuses it with the power of the sun. The player may choose any item in their inventory and replace it with an item of increased rarity. For example, they could replace a rare item with a very rare item, but could only obtain a legendary item by replacing a very rare item.
Like it's going to be 1 level higher.
Yeah.
Than its original time.
And place an item of increased rarity. Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. And the third one. Let's see. So we've got our helpful action. We've got our. I feel like that could be considered either the defensive or the attack action. So this, I feel like because it's the sun, it should be more focused on attacks for this. You know, like the moon was a little more defensive, the sun will be a little more aggressive. All right, so we've got damage and blinding, create a new item, and I feel, because I'm such a fan of Final Fantasy, can we do a meteor spell? Where like literally the sun grabs a meteor and throws it at the dragon.
one. One little
Yes.
rock.
Let's see. Meteor spell. Meteor. And it works with the gravitational thing too. So, his sister reverses gravity. He uses gravity to pull a meteor. Using the gravity
Oh my God.
of the sun.
Like
Apalaki.
Mayari used Apolaki's magic, and Apolaki is going to do the same. So cool.
Absolutely. Use the gravity of the sun.
Oh my God.
Apalaki will drive a meteor off course to slam into the dragon in a fiery inferno. This meteor will do. I feel like this will be, because they seem to be like, the most aggressive, and the most antithetical to the dragon because it's all fire. So I think this should be the most powerful direct attack against the dragon. So let's do. I want to say 8d12. I think would be good. Let's do like 4d12 of fire damage and 4d12 of bludgeoning damage.
Bludgeoning, right.
Yeah. Do 4d12 of bludgeoning and 4d12 of fire damage. Because they will have access to 9th level spells, they will already have access to the meteor spell. To the meteor. So we could say instead, like, the meteor will do this if the player has access to the meteor. What is that? Meteor? Is it meteor swarm?
Okay.
Meteor swarm, yes. All right, meteor swarm. If the player has access to the meteor swarm spell, Apalaki, Apalaki can instead amplify that spell, doubling the fire damage done. All right, fabulous. So that could be, now mind you, the meteor swarm spell on its own could stop the dragon for a round. So this would be like just a champion moment for this guy. All right, so next, let's look at a Dianale. All right, a Dianale. All right, so let's do her protective one first. She is, so this is going to be, this team is a Dianale, so harvest and flocks and things like that, specifically aimed at, so this is going to be our combat-oriented and healing-oriented group, right? Yeah. So this will be sort of fighters and clerics. So Dianale, let's look at this. It will be, I think first should be a healing spell of some kind. And since she's goddess of the harvest, we'll do the other one because she's the other one is the goddess of cultivation. So with the goddess of the harvest, yes.
Yeah. How about I'm not sure if it's available or allowed. How about if she blessed like a certain certain blacktop area, like certain feet, and then as long as the player is inside that area, they can heal an amount on their life point each row or
Sure.
each.
Yeah, absolutely. There's let's do Indianale. She will be
The blessed ground, kind of like that.
yeah. There is what is do you all have do you store your grain in silos or
Sorry?
or in some other way? Do you store your grains in silos or granaries or like when you're storing food that's being harvested after the harvest, where does it go?
I'm not sure. I think it goes on like a barn area.
Okay, sure.
Like silos are not usually used here, I think.
So could we call it a granary?
Good berry. I feel the
I
berries.
love it.
Like, ouch.
Oh my gosh. There is absolutely Clench. Mango always fights for a good cause. There's, yeah, no, I actually really like that there is that they'll do a, let's say beauty of the harvest. Beauty of the harvest. The goddess of the harvest lays a basket of good berries at your feet. There, how much does a good berry, how much does it heal? Is it 1d10 or 1d6? I can't remember. Let's see. I think, Lando, do you know? I'm not really hearing anything from Lando. It's just, Lando doesn't care anymore. What is, how much does a good berry heal? Oh, just 1 hit point? Okay, fabulous, thank you. All right, cool, so.
Well, maybe
there is.
Maybe they can roll how many bears they'll be able to grab in a one action.
Yeah, absolutely. A basket of good berries at your feet. As a reaction, each round, the player may grab and consume 1d12, let's say, good berries. So in 3 rounds, they potentially could get, 36 hit points back. There's good berries, each healing 1 hit point. Fabulous. All right, so we've got the healing. Next.
So we have like maximum of 12 heal if they are lucky.
Yeah. Do we want to increase that? Because we could do like 2d12, since this is a super high level fight.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah, let's
right.
go with 2 since it's a blessing kind of thing.
Absolutely. So you can just have like a giant, just
2
all
hands.
the good things. I love it. All right, there is. I feel like because they're also the goddess of good deeds. Let me see. Ooh, you know what? Ideanale could be, because they're all about good deeds and helping other people. This could be absolutely they send a Dianale to go and like heal someone else for a round. Does that make sense? Or do we want to keep each goddess or god on their own moon, regardless? I feel like, ooh, that could be a team up thing that they do where they heal everyone.
Yeah.
Like that's their big power.
It's going to work well on the team up for, I guess.
All right, so let's keep them on this moon. All right, so we've done some healing. Let's do some protecting. And Beauty of the Harvest. Let's do Protection of the Harvest. Protection of the Harvest. I feel like since it has to do with harvest. Oh, let's give them a hero's feast.
Yeah,
I do love that spell. All right, Protection of the Harvest. Dianale blesses her champion with the power of a hero's feast. And then let me just look up heroes feast, and let's see. I want to see exactly what the spell does.
Yeah. It does like boost the team, right? And then there are
it gives you like you're immune to poison. You get extra on your wisdom saves. I'm not sure if that's gonna help a whole bunch. In this, let me see what this is gonna look like. Oh, it's not a wizard spell. Oh, it must be. It's a cleric spell. Of course it is. All right, let's look over in the cleric section, shall we? Thank you, D&D Beyond, for keeping things so organized. We love you. We love you very much. You're awesome. Here we go, Hero's Feast. All right. Let's see. A creature that partakes of the feast gains several benefits. The creature is cured of all diseases and poisons, becomes immune to poison and being frightened, and makes all wisdom saving throws with advantage. Its hit point maximum also increases by 2d10, and it gains the same number of hit points. So really, that's not going to do a whole lot. Let me see. Oh no, I'm trying to think of some cool protective thing that would be fabulous.
How about if she okay, so for Beauty of the Harvest, it's not a one go thing, right? It's going to have effect per action of the PC. So how about for Protection of the Harvest? Maybe Dianale can cover the players with like a plant kind of armor.
Sure.
Protects them.
Absolutely. There's what is that? Is it Fire Shield? I want to say. Is it Fire Shield that has like it protects you from like you can choose which kind you get and it'll protect you. One will protect you from fire and the other will protect you from ice.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, what if we did that where it where she creates a situation where you only take half damage from any water-based attacks. Since the dragon's attacks are all water-based, you essentially would only take half damage.
Like plants thrives on water, right? Yeah.
Champion with the power, bless your champion with a cloak of living wood. This cloak absorbs any water attacks that the player experiences, having the damage to the player. All right, fabulous. So they just have that now. All right, and then something that we can do that will reaping of the harvest. I feel like some sort of giant sickle attack. Doing like slashing damage to or scythe attack. Yes.
Like I'm imagining like you know when Jack's beanstalk like climb up the sky. Idea can like create something like that, like a plant that will.
Ooh.
Giant plant that will like come
will
up
fall
and then,
on it.
I don't know, like maybe stab, something like that.
Sure. There's let's do something. I'm trying to think of like, let's do like a constricting vines sort of thing. Let's see.
Yeah.
It could be that it's like as they that in this situation, that they don't get to take a legendary action next turn. So it won't protect them, it'll protect the next person. But it'll also do damage.
Maybe this can be like a fruitful harvest because Bakunawa
Right.
not having a legendary action is gonna be super great.
Right?
Even if it's once.
So let's see. So this will be fruitful harvest. All right. Dianale forces huge vines to grow, constricting around the dragon. The vines grow just so it's something colorful and interesting. Adamantium spines that do how much was, all right, so that was 8d12. So all the other gods, let's do like let's say 6d10 damage to the dragon, and it loses its next legendary action. So if the person after them is hurting, then they can sort of save them from being attacked in the next round. I feel like that speaks to me about a goddess of harvest and good deeds and things like that. I feel like that all works.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next, we are
Like
going to
it's
have
so like The goal is still to help in a
Yes.
way.
All right, and then we've got Akapati. Let's do next. So we've got Akapati. All right, so Akapati is herds, flocks, all and cultivated land. What I am thinking is this one. We could summon a flock of some sort of very aggressive bird to go after the dragon.
Do you know that our national events, national bird are eagle?
Oh, they're eagles. Oh, fabulous. I love it. Let's get a swarm. Let's get a flock of eagles up in here, shall we? I love it. Kev, you are correct. It should be the most aggressive bird is a goose. Yes, we all know that. Peace was never an option. Like, but we're dealing with Filipino birds right now, so. All right, let's see. So, Fury of the Flock, or what's a group of birds? Yeah, so that's a flock of birds. All right, Fury of the Flock. Okay. I'm sorry. I don't know why my brain is like, what are words now? Words
I
are
don't
things.
even know. What
All
are
right,
these
so
characters?
yeah, no one knows anymore what's happening. Fury of the Flock. All right, so let's have this be the damaging one. So let's do let's say because I want each sort of damage to be a little different than each other, so it's not all standardized, but I want it to be about the same. So let's do so 6d10 is 60. Let's do let's see, D with a D8. What would that be? 10d8, 98. 8d8 would be 64. So let's do 78. So 7, Akapati summons a huge swarm of eagles to tear at the dragon's hide. The eagles will do 78 slashing damage to the dragon and weaken its armor. Let's say I think the dragon should start with immunity to non-magical weapons. So if people have non-magical weapons like bows or something like that, if they've chosen to get like magical armor instead of magical weapons, this would allow them to actually start damaging it. Dragon and weaken its armor. The dragon loses immunity to non-magical weapons, but as its scales are torn off, but it retains resistance to them. All right, fabulous. So that's the attack. Let's see. Let's something with shepherding, I think, since we're also dealing with livestock and things like that. What's a common animal that is kept as livestock in the Philippines?
Usually are goat, chicken, and then cows for the farmers. They usually have them too for goats, like for their harvesting and stuff. And then
Fabulous.
there are carabaos. They usually help in carrying like heavy materials and stuff.
Sure.
Then I think that's the most common one for us.
Let's see. What would be a fun thing to do with flocks that's either like sort of defensive or helpful?
Imagine having like tons of jumping goats around you.
Ooh, and it could be the goats are distracting, so whatever legendary action, like the dragon will have to roll its legendary action twice, and you get to pick which legendary action you want it to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
All right,
perfect.
so fun.
Like imagine half of the moon's land is full of goats.
Right. Happiest herd. Let's see. Hundreds of goats appear and begin frolicking around the moon. This distracts the dragon until the start of the dragon's next turn. It will roll its legendary actions twice and take the less destructive result. All right, fabulous. And let's do something. I'd like them to have sort of a healing thing too. So let's do I'm trying to think. I want to say.
Oh, how about like every like person that they take care of animals, they do take rest sometimes.
They do get a what?
Like they still rest up for a bit, like a siesta or some kind.
Absolutely.
Like in here, you will usually see farmers like after eating lunch, they will take a rest under mango trees, just sleeping.
Oh,
Like,
I love it.
With the beautiful sky. So something that like let the player rest up for a bit and regain their stats.
Let's see. Ooh, let's call it Sleep of the Shepherd. Sleep of the Shepherd. I think we can just give them a short rest.
Yep.
Essentially, so they can roll their healing hit die, and they get back certain things from it too. You know, if they cool. So let's do Sleep of the Shepherd. Akapati sends a restful tune that reinvigorates the player. The player may take an instant short rest. Fabulous. Okay, cool.
Also, sorry, Kyle. I think it's ikapati instead of akapati.
Oh, ikapati. Thank you. All right. I've been doing akapati. All right.
I just
All right.
realized. I just realized because I checked like her description because I was thinking about. Sorry.
Fabulous. Let's see. All right. So now we've got Anitun Taboo. All right. Let's do Anitun Taboo. All right. So she is rain, wind, very flighty, running all over the place. I feel like their direct attack, this should be sort of, all of this stuff should be sort of roguish in nature. There's, I want this one to be sort of fun and delightful. Let's see. Delightful distraction where Anitun Taboo will appear before the dragon, distracting it. Any attacks made against the dragon will be done with advantage. Essentially, this will let the rogue use their sneak attack on it.
But it's the other way around.
Yep.
Perfect.
Any attacks
to
against the dragon.
Showing up.
Any attacks made against the dragon will be done with advantage. And let's make this. This is going to be a rogue attack. You know, rogues are sort of like supposed to be DPS, so just damage dealers. Let's do. Will be done with advantage. The first attack. Let's see. The first attack that this player makes next round, done with advantage until the end of this player's next turn. The first attack that this player makes next round makes before the end of their next turn will be a critical hit. That way it's not direct damage, but it will be a critical hit with a sneak attack will be at 17th level. If this is a rogue, damn. Oh my lord, that's a lot of damage.
It's a goddess kind of rogue.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right, cool. So we've got, let's see, next, let's do something protective. Can we do something like invisible wind, where like she just turns the entire moon invisible, like it just disappears, so the dragon can't target it. Let's see. There is winding wind. The goddess creates a screen of wind and debris.
Let me get some water real quick. Just continue.
Oh, absolutely. The goddess creates a screen of wind and debris. This makes the makes the moon invisible until the end of the player's next turn. All right, cool. So we just keep giving them advantage in different ways so that this rogue can just do all kinds of craziness, which is going to be fun. And then let's see, something that would be delightful. Ooh, well, no, I don't want to use poison, I don't think, because that doesn't feel like it fits in with like wind and rain and all of that. Let's see, what would be so let's see. So Zephy, what would be something that we could do? So I feel like that's the sort of protective thing. So the dragon can't attack it for a round.
Okay.
What is something else that it could do?
This
That's
is
sort of
going
roguish.
to like the attack one, right?
Hmm?
How about well, Bakunawa have monsoon, right? Maybe Anitu Tabu can create like how do you call this? Like when the storm is super strong and the wind are super harmful, it's
Oh,
gonna
absolutely.
be like blade like rogue
Oh,
does blade, right?
yeah.
So it's gonna be some like super like tons of blades
All right.
twisting
So
around.
let's do. All right. So, Delightful Distraction, Winding Wind, Blurring Blades, the winds around the moon whip themselves into a frenzy. Anytime the dragon attempts to physically attack this moon, it will take, let's call it, we don't want it to be too huge because the dragon could attack it many times. Let's call it 5d6 damage. And it's now a permanent effect around the moon, so every time the dragon tries to attack it, it'll get that.
Like every attack is going to be okay.
I love it. 5d6 slashing.
Anita Tabu is like at the corner.
Right, just like, get out of here. Go on. I love it. Okay, fabulous. So we've got that. And then finally, we have got our Mapulon. All right, fabulous. So we'll do Mapulon. And this is seasons. So let's do one thing for the sunny season, one thing for the rainy season, and one thing for the mixed season. Does that make sense?
Yep.
All right, so they're going to be sort of roguish as well. We've already done, all right, so we've done distractions, we've done blinding, we've done, what haven't we done yet? Ooh, thunder. We could deafen it. Fabulous. All right, Mapulon. Let's do the monsoon's thunder. Mapulon takes the reins surrounding the dragon and creates a huge thunderclap. that deafens the dragon. All attacks that the dragon makes until the start of its next turn will only do half damage. All right, fabulous. Monsoon's Thunder. Then something that's sunny and delightful. Let's see. What is the sunny season like?
Well, it's kind of, if it's not super super hot, it's, for me it's relaxing and like kind of calming because the sky is clear.
Fabulous.
And, I don't know. I just know that whenever March came in, people thinks about beach and
Right.
swimming and stuff, right?
Absolutely.
And,
Let's see. Let's do, in that situation, ooh, calm, like the calm the rains.
yeah.
The until the start of its next turn, the dragon cannot use any rain / water based attacks. As Mapulon forces the rainy season to shift to sunshine. All right, fabulous. That way it can still claw, bite, and tail. It just can't do any of the other three, the big crazy ones. All right, and let's see now. Something that is the mixed season where you don't really know what's going on.
Imagine when it's too hot and sunny, and then it's going to suddenly rain. Like, is it not usually happens? But we can amplify that where the water droplets are scalding hot. But
yeah, there is steaming
it's not the fun kind of rain.
showers. Steaming showers. We haven't really done anything with acid yet. So let's make this like, instead of like fire damage, make it acid damage. So that it's it burns. It burns, but it's a different kind of burn.
Like, it's melting him in a way.
Right. The power of the sun infuses the rain with heat and harm. A shower of acidic rain pours down on the dragon, doing let's call this 5d12 damage. 5d12 acid damage, and reducing its armor. I want to say that its AC is going to be already like 10. Like it's going to be nothing. It's so big that any attack will hit it, pretty much. Unless you crit fail and you cut off your own arm, you know. And reducing its ability to shrug off damage. let's have a couple of these work together. So the dragon is no longer immune to non-magical damage, though it is resistant. If the dragon is only resistant to non-magical damage, it now has no protection against it. All right, fabulous. And let's pop that same phrase up into the one. There we go, with Ikapati. Fabulous. So now, if you use the powers of those two gods together, you can get rid of all of the resistance that it's got. So that'll be fabulous. Okay, and we've got our basic attacks for all of the gods.
Yep.
So that's delightful. Next, we need to get, we'll have 2 players and 2 gods. Let's see. Hold on. Each pair of players will need to decide when to use the action of their pair of gods. Each pair will have 1 special combined power that can be used only once in the second chapter. All right, so the first one is going to be, let me scroll all the way up, Mayari and Apolaki. All right, so Mayari and Apolaki. The sun and the moon. What do we want their thing to be?
Something cosmic, I guess.
Fabulous.
Or maybe we can try and use them being war gods too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe
Ooh, yeah.
I want to. Maybe we can incorporate them being the children of the main god, so they
Okay.
can have like a special something.
They can have, let's see. I feel so. If we want to go with the god of war, the gods of war thing, we could absolutely say that each one can have, like, for one round, for one round, they will each replicate the action of both of the players. So if, like, let's say the player just does an attack action and attacks twice, then Mayari will also attack twice, and Apolaki will also attack twice. And if they cast a spell, then it'll actually cast it 3 times instead, whatever action they take. Does that make sense? Do we want to do something more interesting than that?
Yeah, that's better. Like, because under normal attacks, we already like give shine to their like magical side. So this being like war or attack related fits well for me.
Yes. Okay, fabulous. So we'll do that. All right, so we
It's like they are going to mimic the attack, but is it going to be the same hit points of what the player will roll?
Yeah, I think
Or
that it'll just be exactly the same attack. They will just, you know, there is for one round, both gods will mimic the actions of both players. For example, if a player uses the attack action, then Mayari and Apolaki will both take the attack action, doing exactly the attack action, allowing the player to triple their damage. If a player casts a spell as their action, then the spell is tripled by the gods. All right, fabulous, cool. So we've got that. I think that's great because then if the players come up with something really fabulous and creative, like especially if it's some sort of cool combo, it'll happen 3 times. You know, that's
in my brain right now, I'm imagining this 2 huge, gorgeous being like copying.
right.
It's like, oh my god, that's so awesome.
Love it. It's gonna be fabulous. All right, so next we have got Idianale and Ikapati. Idianale, oops, and Ikapati. All right, so for them, these are goddesses of harvest, of growth, of agriculture. I feel like these should be the ones that do like a big healing action.
Yeah, I was thinking the same though. Maybe we should do like half, recover half of the total.
Fabulous.
Because I feel like the players are already super struggling.
Oh, what if we did their one of their basic actions was getting a short rest. What if for these guys what you have to do is you have to choose one of the players of the pair, because this will figure into the good deed part of it. One of the players in the pair gets a long rest, so they recover everything, while the other player doesn't get anything. And then the players must choose.
Are we not going to name the super duper awesome?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so what is the name for the Mayari and Apolaki one? Let's see. They're mimics. Sun reflecting moon. Sun reflecting moon. Or moon reflecting sun. That's how that works. That's how physics works. Moon reflecting sun. Does that work? Do we like that?
Yeah.
All right, fabulous. There's let's call this for the good of the village. Or, the sacrifice of one. The sacrifice of one. Players must choose one of their pair.
Whichever one have a champion, right?
No. Players must choose one of their pair that player receives an instantaneous long rest while the other receives nothing. All right, fabulous. I really like that. Having to do the good deed for someone else, you know?
Yeah.
So like, all right, and now we've got Anitun Tabu.
Okay. Oh, sorry. It's Anitu, without the N. Just
Oh, I'm sorry.
Anitu.
Anitu Tabu. Let me get that corrected up here. Anitu Tabu. All right, fabulous. And let's see. All right, so Anitu Tabu and Mapulon, is it? Mapulon. And Mapulon. So these are the more chaotic of them, sort of roguish.
Yeah. How about like my friend Ken Dark Tower, who is also Filipina and also watching us right now, mentioned about heat wave, which is
Heat
what we
waves?
currently have now.
Oh,
What do you think of using that one?
fabulous. Like a heat wave, like they could, let me see. So one of them is creating all of this. We could absolutely make this one just a huge, like just like a finishing blow type thing. Where it would do just like massive amounts of damage. Let's see.
Because also Bakunawa is more comfortable with water, like being wet and stuff like that. So this is gonna hurt.
Let's do heat wave and have it dehydrate.
Yeah.
Bakunawa.
So it's going to exhaust him and cause damage, right?
Ooh, yes. Ooh, exhaustion. I forgot about that mechanic. All right, so we will do Heavenly Heat Wave. The two gods send a dehydrating wind against the dragon. As its skin begins to crack, it will take a huge amount of damage. Let's do like 10d12 or something, like just crazy damage to this dragon. That could be up to 120 points of damage. I feel like for like a one-shot blow, that'll be fine. As its skin begins to crack, it will take 10d12 damage and gain 1 level of exhaustion each round until it utilizes one of its water-based powers on itself. So instead of attacking somebody else, it's got to do a tidal wave against itself to hydrate itself again.
So it's less danger to the player.
Yeah.
Right. Also imagine if they time their water-based spells from above.
Oh yeah.
Right? Plus this, it's going to gonna work so well.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fabulous. I love it. There's this is gonna be awesome. Okay, so what we have got so far is we've got, you start with a god bringing you to battle against this thing. This serpent, this giant dragon attacks every time a player attacks. They've got all of these legendary actions. They're doing crazy damage to it. The first couple of rounds, like, you lose 3 moons. You regroup, you bring the gods together again, you get these crazy fabulous powers now, and you might kill the dragon, or you might save, or you might not. And then in the third part of it, let's see, we have got Amanicable acknowledges that he brought the gods together to destroy them. Is that something that he would do? Would he go against the other gods?
Well, who knows what he's thinking, right? He's broken heart and stuff.
Right. Acknowledges that he brought the gods together to destroy them, and will not let them survive.
Like, it's kind of like a metaphor too, in a way that, one of the things that we are trying to keep an eye on here in the Philippines is the rising sea level, because it's going to get a lot of shorelands that we have that it's going to
Absolutely. Yeah. Like, global warming is definitely going to be, the Philippines is one of those places that's going to get hit hardest by that, which is terrifying.
We are 100% covered in water, like our surroundings.
Yeah.
Yep. So it fits perfectly.
Right. And will not acknowledges that he brought the gods together to destroy them, and will not let them survive. So you must now face, in your weakened state, the final challenge.
Except that lucky guy who get the sacrifice of one.
Right? There's like, I got this. I'm gonna get him, guys. I'm gonna do it. There's the other gods have exhausted their powers against the dragon, and will not be able to help. Okay, fabulous. So, all right, cool. So, we need to create a couple of things. We need to create a stat block for the dragon, a stat block for Amanicable, and let's see. Okay, so Amanicable, I'm gonna pull up a basic stat block, and we can just go over the sort of the basics of what's in there, and sort of sort it out, get it all primed later. Let me see. So let's get a high level one, so I make sure that we've got all of the fun stuff that we need in there. Let's look at, how about Yugorul, Lord of Entropy? I feel like they would have, yes, okay, they've got legendary actions, they've got all the stuff. All right, cool. So let's start with AC and hit points. So for this guy, it's going to be, I think they are very high level. So I feel like most of the attacks are going to have at least like a +10 to them from the players at 17th level. So we want them to hit maybe half of the time. So let's put this guy's AC at like 22, I want to say. They should hit about, if it's a +10, they should hit about 40% of the time at that point. AC 22, HP. We definitely want them to have a bunch, but we don't want it to be like 1,400 points like the dragon.
Maybe like half.
Yeah, let's do like, if we're doing all right, so 20, 60, 10 plus 182. Let's do let's say about 400, and it'll be let's do 20d10 plus 200 for hit points. Then we can do, it's a god and it's a god of water, so obviously it'll have a swim speed. So it will be, let's see, HP, movement is going to be, I want it to be able to whip around the field. So let's say 90, yeah, let's say 90 feet of movement with 150 feet swim. And let's say flight. No, we won't give it flight. It's a god of the ocean. Let's see. Then we've got its stats. All right, so used to be a god of the hunt, so definitely dexterity will need to be high. Strength, I feel like strength is going to be another one that's going to be pretty high. So let's do like 17 strength. Dex, I want that to be really high. Let's like 23, I want to say. Dex 23. Constitution, they are gods, so let's give that plenty. 18. Is this god intelligent? Or is it ruled by its head or ruled by its heart?
Maybe, I guess we can say he is ruled by his heart because we have this chaos because of it.
Right. So let's do intelligence like 14, and then wisdom, put that at like 20. And then charisma, he's not being super cool, and he's a hunter, so probably isn't used to being around people a lot. So let's do like 12. Charisma, sort of not a great guy. And let's see, which saving throws should we give him? I feel like dexterity, definitely. What other ones?
Constitution is like on their movement, right? On how well they.
No, that's hit points. That's how much damage you can sustain. So let's do, I think dexterity and wisdom would be good, so that people can't take him over with mind affecting spells. So dex. So with him it would be, let's see, so dexterity is going to be at +5 +6 +6. So that'll be +12, and wisdom will be +11. There we go. All right, cool. Next, what skills? You know what? I feel like that's not going to be super important for this encounter. I don't think. I think just having fabulous stats should be enough to to maintain. All right, so first we will do damage resistances. Okay, damage resist. What is going to be, so I feel like because they're the god of the ocean, being resistant to, they should be resistant to ice. Yeah, so or immune to ice. Let's damn immune ice. I feel like because they're probably like they're the god of the sea and the hunt, which means that they would have some control over storms, things like that. So probably resistant to thunder, lightning, and non-magical weapons. Damage immunity to damage resistant to non-magical weapons. Do we want to give them any more immunities?
Maybe to psychic.
Ooh, yeah. Okay.
We are like
Yeah.
being.
I think that is good. So damage immune, ice, psychic, and then condition immunities. Sleep, charm, frightened. I think prone. Anything else that we should make it immune to? I'm not sure.
We can
Let me
still
see.
add by something that makes sense, right?
The which one?
We can. I can't think of anything else right now, though. So we can always just add if ever.
Oh,
we
absolutely. Absolutely.
find-
All right, so I'm going to say he is, so there's, next will be senses, and it's a god, so obviously true sight.
Mhm.
So true sight, let's give them true sight up to, so that players still have sort of a chance at doing like hiding and stuff like that. Let's make true sight 30 feet.
Okay.
And then dark vision 120 feet. So that way it knows what's around it. But if you get out of the 30-foot range, then you can sort of go invisible or hide or things like that if you want. And then languages. Let's do language. I think just telepathy. Telepathy, 120 feet. That way we don't have to deal with it. They speak every language. They know exactly what's going on. They can communicate what they need to. All right. I'm not going to do a challenge rating on this one, but proficiency bonus is going to be language proficiency bonus is +6. There we go. And let's see now. All right, so now we have the interesting things about it. So what are the things that are not actions, actions or legendary actions, specific bonus actions or reactions? I want it to be really cool. So let's see. So this is going to be, it's, what is this called? It's not, why can I not remember the name of it? Let's see. This will be its attributes. I guess, well, no, we've already got that. Well, it's cool things about it, because I cannot remember the words right now. So, we'll fix it. We'll fix it in editing. I think, all right, so I think as a hunter, because it's got such high dexterity, I think that it should be able to react to as it has essentially an infinite number of reactions each round. So it can, no, that's not how that would work, is it?
Or maybe we can, since the players are guided by gods and goddesses too, we can like make him like a normal enemy in a way, but not super. Like since he is together hunting, like close, physically close attack, then he can easily dodge that, I think.
Fabulous. Let's say any attack that Amanekable can see,
Yeah.
they can force to be made at disadvantage. I think. There we go. That'll help. There is, so, you know, if the players can somehow make themselves invisible to his true sight or something. We could make this a fight where there are certain things that you can do as a player to take out certain attributes. Let's see. So, if Amanekable is blinded for any reason, they also lose their true sight. There we go. So if you can blind Amanekable, he loses this ability. Since he's a god of the sea, and he was the friend of a giant crazy dragon, I feel like he should be able to do something with, let's give them a dehydrating aura. So anytime you get within 10 feet, they start sucking the water out of your veins. So let's see. So this will be called Hunter's Eyes. This will be Salt of the Sea. Amanekable has a dehydrating aura. That's not how you spell that. As anyone that comes within 10 feet of Amanekable must make a Constitution saving throw DC. Let's not make it crazy high for 17th level. So let's say like maybe DC 17. DC must make a Constitution saving throw, DC 17. On a failed save, the player, the creature loses 2d10 hit points and gains a level of exhaustion until they leave the aura, at which point the exhaustion is nullified. All right. So that way, like, fighters can't just go and stay in the aura unless they have some sort of protection against it. They're going to have to keep moving around, doing interesting things and being creative, which is nice. Sometimes it's nice to be creative. All right. So we've got that. What else should we add? What are you thinking?
I was just thinking that the sea kind of fits being like Bakunawa and Manicables like combination.
Oh yeah, I love that. Let's see, and all right, let's see. So we've got Hunter's Eyes, Salt of the Sea. I'd like to give them Water's Way. Amanicable's movements are as smooth as the water itself. They avoid all attacks of opportunity that they can see. That way they can like fly around, they can fly all over the battlefield without getting tons of attacks of opportunity, and can just like start slamming into people, just doing all kinds of crazy stuff. All right, cool. I feel like that's good. Do you want to add anything else to that?
Yeah. Right now, I think I'm good with this.
Fabulous. I love it. Mm-hmm.
You have this thing wrong with the end.
So now we're going to jump over to actions. So let's see. So actions. So this is going to be their attacks. I'd like their attacks to attack like multiple people at once, and I'd love to give them like a sort of godly power, maybe something that like they took from the dragon itself. So like, let's start with the fact that they have multi-attack. So let's see. So it's, let me get back over to the right tab. Multi-attack. Amanicable makes. So first, let's see, what kind of attacks are we thinking? I'd like them to have at least like one magical attack, and then a bunch of physical attacks that they can make.
No, since he's a hunter, we can like have him this certain like godly kind of weapon.
Absolutely. So we want to do a bow. Do we want to do a bow attack? Or do
Yeah,
we want to make it physical? Do we want to make it a melee attack?
yeah. Let's make it a melee attack.
Fabulous. What would you in the Philippines? What is the thing? What's like the most common hunting implement?
Check that.
Because I'm feeling right now, sort of like maybe spear.
I'm not sure why Google is showing me yo-yos right now.
Absolutely. Yo-yo attacks. Perfect. 100%. Let's do it. There's-
Okay.
So let's
You can move
Let-
on the other one while I look.
sure. Let's do I'll start with lightning spear. Let's see. Do people use traps a lot in the Philippines, or is it more like would it have been more like bow and arrow, spears, that kind of thing, hunting?
Yeah. So okay, so we got the spear correctly because here it says yeah. Sipat is one of the commonly known.
Okay.
Okay. So can I share this picture
If you send it to the Discord, yeah.
to Lando? So yeah, spear is like a tool or a common one. I'm lost in the sea of doubts.
There's all right, fabulous. Let's see. So we've got all right, so we've got lightning spear first. Then I think we can do I'm just trying to think of fun weapons that we could do. I'm definitely here for the yo-yo attack.
Yo-yo, my God.
All right, so we've got lightning spear as their melee attack. Let's give them a ranged attack of some kind. Did you all use bolos? It's the one where you've got like 3 balls on a string and you throw it and they whip around and they wrap around like the legs of whatever you're trying to capture.
Familiar, because as far as I know, our ancestors are kind of more into that close combat fight.
Uh-huh.
We have Kalis, like have you watched Raya? Like Disney's Raya.
What's it called?
Raya, the animated movie.
Oh no, I haven't, sadly.
Oh, okay. Okay, you can just yeah, we have this sword that we call Kalis, which is like it's a short kind of sword, but the blade is not straight. It's kind of wavy, like a
Oh, like a Chris. Okay. Right. Absolutely. So let's do and will you put that in chat how you spell that? Because that'll be fabulous. There is
I'll add a picture too. Just
fabulous. Let me see. Where are we putting that as far as the chat goes? Because I am not seeing it. Oh, there we go. Callies. Right, fabulous. There is. So let's do. So it will be water Callies. This serpentine short sword created from.
So my friend is helping me right now.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. She is yeah, she gave me Campilan, which is I'll send Landon the picture too, just to give you an idea. So it's
Fabulous.
It's really mostly as far as I know.
Awesome. Okay, so we are almost at 3.5 hours, and I know it's like 2:30 in the morning for you. So why don't we do this? Let's wrap up the stream, and then you and I can set up a time sometime in the next week or so when we'll get together and we will complete these stat blocks, because we've got a full adventure. So we've got the adventure is done. We just need to do like the stat blocks. So I love this because we haven't done anything like this yet. It makes me so happy that it's like you're chosen as a champion. And chat, let me know if you would play this game. Super high level, you're chosen as a champion. There's a god that's helping you out. You are battling this giant dragon with all kinds of craziness. And then as you... That's right. You got to save your moon. You got to save your moon. Then you get to team up with somebody else to save your moon. And then you get to defeat the god who set the whole thing up, trying to kill all of you. I feel like that will be so much fun. And it absolutely tells the story of, you know, how you saved one of the moons. You know, so that makes me so happy. Zephy, thank you so much for being here today and sharing with us and helping to create a fabulous adventure. I'm so excited about that. We will get an artist on this ASAP. We will start. I think there will be some very fun things happening with this. And let everybody know where they can find you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for watching this. Wonderful. Thank you, Kyle, and to the Pig for having me. This is such a great chance for me and for my culture to be seen. So you can find me on Twitter at Zephymix, and then I am a digital artist. Or you can hire me to create your lovely D&D characters, and yeah, I'm a new D&D player that's still learning. So this chance is such a big gift for me, and I'm super happy and thankful. Thank you so much. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you so much again for being here. And everybody in chat, feel free to head over to Fig if you want to help us fund more things like this where we get to bring on fabulous creators and do amazing things with them. Feel free to jump in either to our Ko-fi or, which I will throw up into the link right now, or just go ahead and throw some cash our way. We love it. We will accept any and all forms of payment. So thank you again. And we're about to raid into one of our stream team partners. So the fabulous Phoenix Iwaki raided into us. We are now going to raid into Sensei Suplex. So thank you all for being here. Oh, the raffle. I forgot about the raffle. I am a monster. Everybody jump into the raffle, hit ! raffle, because you can win fabulous Phoenix dice right this moment. I'm going to keep it open for like 30 seconds so that everybody can jump in there, get you some delightful dice. It's going to be great. And then, oh, there is something that we forgot to do. the artwork. So first off, what would you like on the cover? What do you think it should be?
Well, for the cover, I guess we can have I'm not sure if it's too much. So we can show how our the PCs like basic looks, and then behind them will be silhouettes of their gods and goddesses.
Ooh, I
then,
like that. So like 7 moons with the silhouettes of gods on them.
And then just Bakunawa lurking somewhere in the cover.
Oh, to gods. And I feel like if it's like the 7 moons with the silhouettes of the gods, and then Bakunawa like in the water underneath looking up.
Yeah, like circling or lurking around them kind of vibes.
Lurking in the water beneath. All right, and then what do we want to put inside? We can do 2 images inside. You know what? You know what I think would be really cool? Could we do one of Bakunawa that goes with their stat block, and then one of Amanakable that goes with their stat block?
Yeah.
Fabulous. Bakunawa, that's not how you spell it. Bakunawa for their stat block, and Amanakable for their stat block. I love that. Okay, cool. Now we can do a dice drawing. All right, let's see who wins some fabulous dice. Ooh, who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? It is Bully Firesmith. Yay, congratulations. Hey, Bully, send me a whisper here on Twitch, or send me a message over on Discord, and I will get you hooked up with some fabulous Phoenix dice. And with that, let us run off to Sensei Suplex and see what fabulous things they're doing right now. So thank you again for being here. I am so excited about it. I cannot wait to do the next one. We are going to be taking a little bit of a break for April. So for the next 3 weeks, we are not going to be doing live streams, but we will be actually re-airing the first 3 streams that we did. So Bashir Gauss and Dungeon Glitch, their 3 streams we will be doing, and showing off what we did there and letting people know how they can actually go and purchase those items. And Zeffy, your adventure should be finished up. We're hoping by about mid-May, we should have this all ready to go and out there in the world. So yay, I love it. Thank you again. Mwah!